Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I watered absolutely everything in here yesterday except the mounts. They were done the day before, so I just whizzed round with the sprayer, and that's all I'll need to water today is the mounts. Give them a water and a feed. But one thing I did notice was we have a surprise on the Disa front. The Disas that have already bloomed, the plants, the actual individual plant that bloomed, will die back as we go into winter. But I mean, this was 3 individual plants that all bloomed, and they've produced quite a few plantlets around them. Those will grow on next year. But up on that pot, 2 of those 5 plants actually bloomed, and would you believe that's a spike? That's a very late in the season spike. Now, I don't know whether that's going to mature and bloom, and I don't see why not, but yeah, that'll be good. I mean, the Disas have they finished blooming quite a while ago, and quite honestly, they haven't liked the heat in here this year. I mean, the heat was exceptional and prolonged. They didn't like that at all. This group of young plants have grown on a bit. 1 or 2 of those were lost, but there's still a good group there to come on for next year. And if there were 5 plants in there, I think all 5 plants survived repotting. A few plantlets have grown, but 2 of them have bloomed, and now it looks like a 3rd one is going to bloom, so that only leaves 2 of the original plants to bloom for next year. So yeah, I'm not planning on repotting these this year. I'm going to leave them in their pots and see what happens. The thought of repotting these every year is a bit much. If that's how they're going to behave, then I'm probably not going to be quite so keen on them. I know Rachel's got Disas. She doesn't repot hers every year, and they do well and they bloom, you know, so I think hers sit outside for a fair bit of the summer in a tray of water. I mean, I water these by topping the trays up. I never get water on the plants if I can possibly avoid it. But yeah, the original plants that have bloomed are starting to show signs of dying back now. The spikes have been reabsorbed into the little tuber that's on the base of the plant, and that's where the new plantlets grow from, and then they form their own little tubers. So they've survived. They've survived a year now, or just over a year. I got this single pot full in Malvern last year, and then split that pot up in the autumn into these 3 pots. From 1 pot I got 3, but I've got no plans on repotting these this year. I'm just going to let them grow on and see how they do. But by the end of next year they will need doing, and by the end of next year I hope to have some more, because obviously I've got 3 potfuls of the same plant, so same blooms on all of them. But I'm hoping in our spring show that somebody's going to bring me some different colours. That has sort of tentatively been arranged, but will need confirming obviously later, well, beginning of next year sort of thing. But I'm hoping to get a few more. I'd like some yellows and some oranges and some reds, or at least some variety, because these are pink. So I'd like to go into some of the other colours, and yeah, I'd like a little collection of Disas. I don't want hundreds of them because they spread like wildfire. If they're grown okay, you know, if you bought 1 plant in bloom, by the end of that season you'd probably have 2 or 3 little ones at the base. And by the end of the following year you'd probably have 7 or 8. So they do spread. They do increase in numbers quite dramatically. But they're not the easiest thing in the world to repot because the roots are so fragile. But it's one of those things that just has to be done. And anyway, it looks like we're going to get a late Disa bloom. I don't know how many actual buds there are on there, but it looks like 2 at least, maybe 3. So that'd be nice. See you next time.